Burns and Morales and people of that ilk stayed in apartment houses during preparations for the big event. Their addresses were very subject to change, so that where a fellow like Morales had been one day, he was not necessarily associated with that same address the following day. In short, it was a very mobile experience. Let me point out at this point that if I had wanted to fictionalize what went on in Miami and elsewhere during the run-up for the big event, I would have done so. But I don't want any unreality to tinge this particular story, or the information, I should say. I was a bench warmer on it, and I had a reputation for honesty. I think it's essential to refocus on what this information that I've been providing you, and you alone, by the way, consists of. What is important in the story is that we backtracked the chain of command up through the Courtmeyer and laying the doings at the doorstep of LBJ. He, in my opinion, had an almost maniacal urge to become president. He regarded JFK as he was, in fact, an obstacle to achieving that. He could have waited for JFK to finish out his term and then undoubtedly a second term. So that would have put the LBJ at the head of a long list of people who were waiting.
Again, it's about maybe 10 minutes or less trip from the Red Courthouse. And as I walked in the door, they were already on the television that he had been shot. So I asked if I could use the phone. I knew if anyone knew anything, it would be just Kellum in Austin, because they carried all three networks. So I called Jess and I said, what is going on? First I called Lou Sterrett at downtown, and I said, my God, what has happened, Lou? And here are people that should have been out at the Trademark for the luncheon, but they were still downtown. And he said, well, they just shot that SOB. And maybe Lyndon. Well, when Lou told me it was Lyndon, of course it was very upsetting. And I didn't live all that far from the where I had my hair fixed. Jess from my house. I said, Jess, what is going on? And he told me at that time. He even said that he was sure he had passed away, or was.
You thought he was talking about Johnson?
Yeah, but but I had already verified that it was not Lyndon. Okay. It was John Conlon.
And Kennedy. Yeah. Let's go back to the night before. When Johnson came out of the meeting, what did he say to you?
He was so angry. He had a violent temper when he was upset.
Well, let's use the exact words that he said to you. What did he say to you?
He grabbed me by the arm, and he had this deep voice, and he said, after tomorrow, those SOBs will never embarrass me again. That's no threat. That's a promise. And it startled me, really, because he was so ruddy-faced. I thought, oh, well, he really, something went on that shouldn't have gone on, But he called me from the Texas hotel the next morning as I was going downtown. Right. And hear this screaming voice of his. He was so irate. And he didn't give me time to talk to him, he just... he was still angry. And when I talked to Jess Kellum right after that, I said, wow, he's on a real violent binge, And then I passed it off. I said, well, after tonight at the Driscoll, he'll be all right. Yeah. And, of course, I didn't see him again
What
until
were the words he said to you over the phone that
that they
burned?
would never embarrass him again. That SOB, the Irish Mafia, I think he referred to him as the Irish Mafia very often.
But he said they would never embarrass him
I'd
again.
never embarrass him again. There was no threat. That was a promise. And there were violent feelings that have never been told that was between those two people.
There was a picture in the Associated Press that showed Ralph Yarbrough, John Conley, Lyndon Johnson standing behind Kennedy
At the Texas Hotel.
Right. And
yeah.
if you look at the look on Johnson's face, what's your impression?
His face is snarling.
Yeah.
And John Conley is so worried or concerned. And after Air Force One got to Love Field, you see John Conley coming down. Everyone was full of glee. And John Conley has this faraway look.